for the Other Three Amigos podcast. Your unofficial Cork City FC podcast. Tweet us on Twitter using the hashtag TOTAP. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Contact us, pod@totap.ie. Sit back, put your feet up. It's time for the Other Three Amigos podcast.
On this week's episode of the Other Three Amigos podcast, spirits are high during a watch-along of the Waterford game that only included the first half. We discuss Wayne getting a loving hug off Kirky. We have the return of Brian Fantana and Decky gets his heart out in front of Rory Keating. We discuss the fence collapsing and the seats in the shed being destroyed. On top of the Bohs review, the Rovers preview, as well as the mailbag. All of this and more on this week's episode of the Other Three Amigos podcast.
It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart.
Join in.
Without saying
Light up the dawn.
light up the dark.
Who's the fourth person?
Page, let's never explain
Try as I may,
what I hear when you don't shake.
Who's that, lads?
what I hear.
The St.
Is that
Patrick.
Marcus Demetrius?
Don't say a thing.
That's No. Is it Raymond Armitage?
The smile on your face lets me know that you need me.
There's a guard there next to you, but kid. Be careful. Put the phone down.
Touch of your hand.
He stopped. He's very clearly pulled in inside the road.
Wherever I fall.
He's a cigarette in his hand as well. So.
Best. When you score lots of goals. Go on, cushion.
When you say nothing at all.
Who are we joined by? Is this Marcus Demetrius? Marcus, is this you?
Looks like Raymond Armitage the fourth.
No, I'm sorry. I actually meant to kick into a current affairs podcast. Is this not the hard elbow?
That shoulder you're looking for, isn't it? New sock.
Sorry, guys, wrong pod. I'll be back. Goodbye, everybody.
What is going on?
Oh my God! Welcome to season 5, episode 6, episode 256 of your somehow, when it boggles my mind every day, international multi-award winning podcast. Throw us a 5-star rating or whatever podcast platform you're listening in on. Why not join us on Patreon? Patreon.com/TOTAP. Reminder, you don't get anything extra with that, but it helps keep the show on the road. Dan Casey here, and I'm joined by my amigos tonight. Not too sure how many coming or going, to be quite honest about it. Wayne Mullins and Declan Carey are in the house. Only one Decky is in town tonight, as the McCorminator is our man on the ground at the RSC in Waterford at the moment, and we'll check in with him a little later on. Good, Decky, you were looking to say something there about
I was just going to say, Dan,
disturbance.
we need to update the invitation link for for joining the podcast. It looks like maybe it's been corrupted, and signs aren't good. So we need to do something there and tighten up the security. Wayne, I don't know if you can look after that.
There was some homeless man smoking a cigarette in front of a guard car. It's just randomly joined.
That was so weird.
Yeah, I was going to say we also might be hearing from the special guest. I think that was the special guest. He's coming and gone. But lads, how are we all? Good, Decky. You're in the States at the moment.
I am.
Sun is beaming on your face.
Yeah, it is, which is strange for Seattle, Washington. But yeah, here I am, lads, all 8 hours of a time difference between us. So yeah, we'll do our best. Somehow the delay will still probably be better than the Bohs connection that we have with Bad Decky. But sure, look, we'll persevere and see how we get on anyway. But yeah, greetings from Seattle, Washington, and all is good this side of the Atlantic.
Wayne, are you still on that high that you were from Friday night? I've never seen you so happy.
That Friday night was immense. Like, it was just, I couldn't stop myself. It was like a boys' own get together on Instagram for the night. It was fantastic. What a weekend! What a night! What a weekend! What a day! It was just unreal.
It was one of those special nights. We'll talk about the Bohs game a little later on, but first, it's time to check in on Academy Watch. Right, our under-20s had a 0-0 draw with Waterford. Under-17s beat Waterford 4-1. Charlie Hanover with 2 goals. Ike Manger, hope I'm pronouncing that right, got 1. And Evan Pilo with the goals there. Under-15s beat Waterford 3-1. Ollie Lynch, Jack Cunningham and Fionnan Rickson with the goals there. That's what's going on behind me. There was... He heard Academy Watch and he decides to join the
I think that's what happened.
All right, lastly, hold on, let me finish. And our under-14s beat Watford 3-2. JD Foley, Liam O'Keefe and Destiny O'Care Dia, again, hope I'm pronouncing that right, with the goals there. That's enough of that. We've been joined by another special guest, but Wayne, hit the Commie Watch music and we'll just get into this thing properly.
Commie Watch with Ivan Draco on the Other Three Amigos podcast.
Bad Decky, you're coming to us live from the RSC in Waterford. How's the atmosphere down there?
Building. What time's it now? 25 past 7. Yeah, we're getting there. Nice city crowd gathering. Looking across the pitch into the standover. It's like something from Deliverance, as you'd expect. I don't think there's a dentist working in Waterford these days, from what I can see. But look, que sera. Looking forward to a good game, though. So hopefully it goes our way.
Are you happy with the City team tonight? Is that what you expected?
I guess Greg starting probably surprises most people, but yeah, there's nobody complaining about it. Like I said the first night against Galway when he came on, I thought Kit Nelson did well. Thought he did well against Sligo the other night, but now he's thrown in here, so he's going to have to stand up and be counted, and hopefully he will.
By the way, are the claims true that you got your horn out in front of Rory Keating earlier?
Stop. There was 4 of them. I can't think of the name of the hotel up on the left there as you leave Waterford City. They were probably in there for the pre-match meal, I'm guessing. I was down kind of a bit early.
That's a tower, is it?
No, the tower is in the city centre itself. Is it the Viking or something stupid name like that?
I think the Viking's on the way out of it, yeah.
Yeah, on the left there. And I'd say the bus was parked in the industrial estate across the road. And the lads they crossed in front of me. I just blew the horn. Gave them the old come on City. But Rio Shipston, I'd say, was the only one who went kind of, Jesus, what's that like, The lads are probably used to it at this stage,
I see Nolan is starting as well. Any thoughts on that, or what way do you think we'll shape up?
I think he sticks with the same shape that he's used all along. I think it'll be 4-4-2, won't it? The back 4 keeper are as always have been. Shawnee and Keats up top, I'd imagine, and the midfield 4, Dyke, and Nolan wide with Nelson and Greg in the centre of the pitch. Maybe when we're defending, Shawnee might pull out one of the wings and kind of try and make it a little bit of a 5 in midfield, but I think it'll be straightforward enough.
We've seen the last of the diamond midfield, or as it turned out on Friday, the cubic zirconia. As it looked.
Yeah, I think like you can't play Sean Murray wide. Like, to be fair to him, And then Benny got exposed a bit with no cover in front of him, and obviously we have that issue on the right hand side with Darragh Cody a lot of the time as well, like with Dyke bombing on. So I think we were exposed on both flanks for a good bit of that first half. But to be fair to Tim, he changed it and he didn't wait till half time. Like, he made the change when he thought it needed to be, whereas lots of managers might have held off till half time, So he's shown he's not afraid to make a change early in the game to correct what he might have decided was an error in selection or formation.
Just so you don't kill us later on, is there anything from the Bohs game you want to talk about before you head off?
No, I think just simply the fact they had a lot of shots on goal. They had 21 shots on goal, and they had nothing up top. Your man Moose said they might as well send them back to France, because I don't think he's going to do a whole lot, to be honest with you. So the issue is if we give up 21 shots at home in 3 or 4 games, we're going to be punished for it, and we're going to lose one of those games 4 or 5-2 because that's just too many attempts at goal. But I presume Tim will know that, and as I said, a lot of that was probably due to the issues we had in the first half and was corrected at half time. So, look, it was just something to keep an eye on, but we will score goals, Dan, and that's been proven already. And when you have a team that has goals in it, we're a long way to being okay already, simply because we will score goals. You can see Bohs couldn't get them, and they ended up losing the game, so we know we have goals in our side. So I think that goes a long way to ensuring, even only 2 or 3 games in, that we're probably okay already,
All right, do you have time? Do you want to stay with us a bit for Commie Watch? Or are you going to head off?
Just speaking about Commie Watch, can I just talk about the toilet situation down here for a second? It's 2025. I think it's a 5 portaloos there. Pitch dark when you get into them. I mean, there's no light in them. There's nothing else. Now, fellas will make jokes about, it's only the lads with the small knobs can't find them now in the dark, but it's just a joke. It's an absolute joke. And there's toilets under the stand here, but the away fans aren't allowed to use them. They're for the home fans only. But how does this thing get through licensing? Seriously, 5 portaloos. I know we had them in Turner's Cross for a while. We don't have them anymore. We built toilets for visiting sides. It's an absolute disgrace of a setup. And as I said, the FAI in Waterford would want to have a long, hard look at the facilities that they're providing to away fans, because these things are going to be destroyed. The portaloos, of course, are going to be destroyed in 20 minutes. And I was at the ground early, and I came in early because I needed to use the toilet. And I went in, and it was pitch dark, and I had my phone. You have to turn on a torch. You can see a zip and a belt and whatnot. But women have to use these toilets. Kids have to use them. And the poor fella in the porta cafe next to me, I heard him getting close the door, and his first words were, "There's no fucking lights!" So it's a joke of a situation. It's been this way for a number of years. But how the FAI allowed this through a license, and maybe Decky Carey might be able to give an insight, but it's an absolute disgrace to carry on.
Decky, is that the old or new stand?
It's they're both, no, it's on the newsstand side. We're on the far side of the ground. So, the side we're always on, the newsstand side. But there's toilets under the newsstand. It's just they won't allow the away fans in.
Poor. So you staying for the rest of the Commie Watch, or are you leaving us be now?
No, I think I'm going to leave you be now, boys, because there's a lad here, actually, before I go away. There's a lad here. And he's just walking around randomly asking Cork City fans if they'll take him back to Cork after the game, And it's weird, as I said, there's a touch of deliverance about it, but he's got a massive head and a huge ego. He's about 5'2", blonde with an English accent, but you know what he's capable of getting back to Cork is on, that's all he wants to do is get back to Cork. So there's shit down here. Doesn't want to stay here anymore, and he's begging people to bring him back to Cork, but I have no idea what's going on. We'll try and figure it out as the night goes on, I suppose.
Yeah. Ask him his name.
Say hi to Brad for me, Decky.
What's that, Wade?
Say hi to Brad for me.
Who's Brad?
Brad Wade.
Brad Wade. Never heard of him. See? Don't know. As I said, just a small lad here. Small lad here with a massive ego and a huge head. Looking for a lift back to Cork after the game. Don't know who he is. Didn't give his name. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Decky, keep us updated. If there's a goal or something, give us a shout anyway.
I'll try, but I'd say for the middle of the newsstand, no, it's not going to be very effective, I guess.
Sure, look, only one way to find out anyway. Cheers, Decky.
Ding, 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 ding. Good luck, guys.
Cheers, Decky. See you later. Enjoy the match.
He's struggling to get off. Hold on. He's still... Okay, he's officially gone. All right.
It's great to see Brian Fantana in the flesh, finally.
Was there a jingle for Brian Fantana? We should have thought of that one.
I should have thought of that, yeah.
Sure look. Right, lads, the Celtic game is officially confirmed. 8th of July in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. 6 o'clock, very early. But as someone in the group pointed out earlier, right Keats in the marquee that night. But people are going to have to book the day off work now. It's just... Declan Carey, it's just a poor time.
Yeah, look, I suppose we're at the mercy of what the event organisers now have arranged, I guess.
But sure, that's us, isn't it?
Well, Oh, nice lead in there, Dan. But yeah, look, I suppose like in recent weeks, look, we very much thought that this event was being driven by Rebel Army events, and look, I suppose the murmurs of this game were all coming from the Cork City FC camp in recent months. So look, I suppose with the events company that we appear to have now, or that are setting up all the various things like the comedy nights and the Italian 19 nights, etc. We thought that this was maybe something we were driving through that as well, but now it looks like that it's a consultancy company, Druid Sports, that's organising the game in collaboration with the GAA. The GAA obviously trying to look to service their, what is it, Dan, 30 million plus debt now at the moment.
Man,
That's
insane.
across the Cork County Board. So like it now looks like we're participants and stakeholders nonetheless. Like we had quotes today from Tim Clancy in the press release, and Cahill was at the press conference earlier, and the photographs taken down the park. So yeah, but it very much looks like this is now an initiative driven by the GA and Druid Sports, and they've asked us to participate. It doesn't look like it's a Cork City FC fundraising type of event, or showcase friendly that we're driving, and will drastically help our coffers, which is, we'll still have a decent financial benefit from it, but not, I think, what most would have been expecting.
Wayne, were you surprised to see that it was the GA and Druid Events who sorted out this rather than City?
I was. I didn't see it coming at all. We all assumed when Dermot Rusher, I think it was on Rebel Army podcast, mentioned that we were playing a big club in the summer. It kind of snowballed then, rumours here and there, and we assumed it was Rebel Army events, and we assumed that like it was a big take on by the club. But I'm just glad that we got our foot in the door of the stadium, because if we ever do get in Europe, I don't want to be playing in Tala. So this is our first game. I think it's historical, really, because it's our first game in Parky Queeve. I think it's important, long term. Short term, yeah, look, 10, 20 grand, whatever we get, I don't know. And yeah, like €65 ticket. Did I read that right?
Well, it's €15, 25 and 65, but I haven't seen the breakdown of what's what.
I presume that means child, teen and adult.
Well, I presume it's child, terrace and seating, I presume.
Yeah. Like we have our own terrace, so it would be good to get a Cork City group there, flags, and stick the flares in and make an event of it. We could.
It's too big a space, and who's going to organise it? Like
Commandos, that's their job. Do their job, as Roy King would say. That's their job to organise this.
Yeah,
so
it is too big a space, Wayne. Like, I've been down the park plenty of times for hurling matches, and there's flares and smoke bombs set off at those too, and it's not the same as it is when you see one set off in the shed end at the cross. Like, it's a dot basically, and you look up over your left shoulder and you can, it's hard to even pick out where the flare's been set off.
Is this not the chance to do it? It's the biggest chance they have of making something spectacular. They've got 6 months to do it, 5 months to do it, 4 months to do it. I don't know. I think if this was the old Commandos of like Richie Hadlow, Eric Barry, and all them, they'd make a go of this.
What, you could get one of those, make one of those fake jerseys up, like Cork City, and have it going through the crowd.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. It could fall flat. It could. But I think this is a great chance. And I think Dermot Usher, Cork City, Aina, whoever's involved in the club, Aaron Howie, should think, you know what, we can make this look really good. If we can entice 100 people to go to games, an extra €2,500 per game. I just think that it's something they should try and not just go, whatever, we're only making this. There's several other ways we can actually engage and, make something good from it. Create something good.
Yeah, it's going to get people interested. Like, it might be one person, might be 100, who knows, but it's going to get some person interested in Cork City.
I'll tell you one thing, right? If we get battered 5-0 and there's no atmosphere, there's no City fans, it's going to look bad on us. It will. You're going to get Celtic fans going, this tin pot club.
I know, but it's probably going to be Celtic third team, realistically. But it could be the City.
With Adam Ida probably sprinkled in, or something like that. Yeah. But who knows? But look, I agree with Wayne, and following on from that, I think, like, given the fact now that it looks like we're just getting a fee to play in the match rather than be more involved in the actual event and driving it from our own perspective, that we should probably try and take every possible advantage we can have now to advertise Cork City FC to the, hopefully capacity crowd now that goes and whatever. Because look, be nice to see the GA sort out a little bit of the debt on Páirc Uí Chaoimh as well. And as Wayne said, get our foot in the door as well. And it's a good chance as well to build some good relationships with potential sponsors of this event, and some people involved in the events space and large scale events and sporting events like Druid Sports are, I think it's Mark Russell from the ex-FAI. He would have been involved in the marketing department of the FAI when I was chairman of the club, and he's a great guy, and we had good work with him done the few years he was involved in the FAI when I was involved. So look, it looks like that's been a key part in getting this arranged, and hopefully us getting involved as the team to play. The other thing as well is I thought the actual cup, it's called like the Cork Super Cup, I thought the cup was very unimpressive, to be honest. Like they could have spent a few £100 on that, like, and gotten a proper kind of larger trophy. This looks like something you'd give a five-a-side tournament there out in Leisure World, and it's not very impressive at all. Like I would have maybe liked to seen a bit more on that. And I think in one of the main photographs we use as well, there's the kid, and fair play to the kid for getting in on the photo opportunity, but he's taken a back seat, so to speak, and you can barely see the Cork City FC jersey. There's like Micheál Martin sitting next to someone wearing a Celtic jersey and a Cork GA jersey, and the kid in the Cork City shirt is sitting in the row behind him and has a scarf covering up half the shirt. Like, you can't see the Zeus sponsor, you can't see the Rebel Army branding or the club crest. Now I know there's other bigger photographs that were taken later with Cahill and Adam Ida pucking a ball around the pitch. But look, there's just the little things too, and it kind of shows that like potentially we are probably taking a back seat in this. So as you said, Wayne, we've got 4 months. Hopefully we kind of ramp up our involvement a bit and maximise the opportunity for the club, and not just go along with the flow.
That was actually a question I was going to ask. Do you think we should hire someone to see this kind of thing, to market what we're doing? Like you said, now the jersey was covered, the sponsor. Should we have someone there who's qualified to actually go, hang on now a second, we need this guy here, we need the scarf there, we need the trophy there, rather than leaving them do it? Just have our own guy, give me a few £100 or whatever, a few grand, to make us prominent in everything that goes out.
You mean even outside of this fixture, or just
this fixture first and see how it goes, just to make sure that we're maximising our potential.
Yeah. It was like I can imagine what happened here was like, look, it's not us organising it. So whoever was organising the press event today and the photo shoot, etc., just basically said, please send one player, a couple of young fans in Cork City jerseys, and be here at this time and whatever, and we just did exactly as we were asked. And when the photographer then, who's probably there on behalf of the GA, was like, all right, you sit there now, you sit there, like there's no one to kind of say, hold on, actually the fixture's between Celtic and Cork City, not Celtic and Cork hurlers. Like, why? It's the little things like that I'm sure there's probably some people listening to this now saying, will the lads ever get a grip? Like, why are you zoning in on all these little things? But look, that's just my mentality when it comes to this thing. Whenever I see the club get such great publicity and our name is out there, it's like, it's always like, geez, it's the little things.
But people give out that we complain about stuff, and now we're actually giving ideas, and people give out as well. So it's a no-win situation. Like, we can easily sit here and slate it that we got nothing out of it, but we're trying to improve and give ideas that maybe we should get someone in who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Who's
and
qualified in this area.
Look, there's pros and cons too. That like we're not driving the event ourselves. Like, obviously the upfront costs now, you'd imagine, are being held by the GA and Druid Sports or whatever, and they're putting a lot in that. We're just turning up and getting a match fee, and maybe there's extra bonuses if like there's additional tickets sold maybe in the city ends. I noticed as well we're allocated 2 specific sections of the ground, so you'd imagine maybe if we sell more tickets, maybe the amount of money we make from this ourselves increases as well. That's just me totally guessing now, but that you'd imagine that's some part to do with it as well. And as I said in the last podcast, hopefully we organise some other events around this as well, like a lunch or something like that. And as I said, try and build a few new sponsor contacts and things like that, and maybe some contacts in Celtic so that we could organise this ourselves down the line maybe as well.
Yeah, well, Roy Keane's knocking around. There's no way they don't try to get him involved anyway. He's in some capacity. But as Wayne mentioned last week, I'd love if we just beat them. Like, it'll be so great to all the City fans to have that moment. No, look, no one cares. No one gives a shit about the Super Cup. But it's such a great advertising opportunity. Then, if we do go out and get hammered.
We have a big chance of looking silly But we also have a big chance of looking, oh, this is Cork City. They're not bad. I know it's a friendly. I know it's a Tuesday and it's Celtic and stuff, but we used to get Spurs and Celtic and Man City and all them over to Burscough Park, and it looked quite well. We could have a chance here to make it look good. Rather than getting Stoke over, Celtic might kind of go, oh, do you know what? This is actually good for us too. I don't know. I just think hope we don't just drop the ball in this.
Is this going to academies, Decky, do you know?
What do you mean? The funds raised?
The proceeds, yeah, do you know?
I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, I'd imagine the club said that they kind of had wind of this maybe in the winter period, so this is just built into the budget, and I'd imagine there was an amount probably floated around the time the club were putting together the budget, and they just put this in under ticket income or whatever. I can't imagine it's been allocated towards a particular area of the club. It's probably just part of our overall total income.
Is that Italian 90 night not for the academy? Would that money go to the academy, or how does that work?
Like, I heard Niall Quinn, an old friend of mine, mentioned that I think he was on TV and promoted that Italian 90 event, which by all accounts, again, is selling very well. So fair play to the club on that event. It looks like it's captured the imagination of the public, and it looks like we've been interrupted by Brian Fantana.
Brian Fantana, there's flares going off. Yes. It's enough. Teams coming out there now, and
yeah, looks like the teams are coming out. Looks class.
Right, we mute him. All right.
Go on, here, mute him.
Sorry, you were continuing your point.
Yeah, as I said, it was around Niall Quinn saying that the proceeds of the Italian 90 nights are going towards helping raise funds for Cork City FC's academy. I'm not sure that makes a lot of sense to me. Liam Kearney was on the club's Rebel Army podcast a couple of weeks ago asking for funding for some, I don't know, was it some kind of training equipment or something like that probably only cost a couple of £100. Like, that seems a bit strange that he would make a plea for someone to help sponsor
if
a bit of training
we knew
equipment.
Someone with a bit of money around the place.
And then Niall Quinn then comes on TV then a few weeks later saying all funds from this are going to the academy. So I expect look, that's a good marketing line to use for these types of events where you say it's all going towards our amateur teams for lads that are not paid and whatever. It looks better than saying it's going towards our paying our players there who play in front of 5,000 people on a Friday night and are paid thousands a week. But look, I'd imagine again there's a figure budgeted for the academy in terms of fundraising and events, and maybe some of the academy players had to sell a certain number of tickets for these things and the comedy night and things like that. But I wouldn't say that this means extra money is just going to be thrown at the academy now, so that they can buy some additional training equipment and things like that, especially the way Liam was speaking. I don't know what that was all about. It was a bit odd, to be honest, to be going on the official club podcast asking for a donation from someone to buy something that he thinks that they need to further improve their training quality and development of the lads. It just seemed a bit odd. And then Niall Quinn saying 2 weeks later that all funds raised from this are going to the academy. So I can't really join the dots on that one.
Yeah, it was a stretch. Sorry, I keep getting distracted as well by somehow the RSC is actually looking good for once. On Virgin are making it look class.
It does, doesn't it? They had that kind of a drone or something. Yeah, it was hardly a crane anyway. It was definitely a drone. But that looked very good, didn't it?
It looked unreal. To be fair, the coverage is class. They had a little graphic down the bottom as well.
Look at it. That's unbelievable. That's definitely a drone. Has to be.
100%. We're going to the lad break here now. What was the next thing I had? The Arc Cinema. I was in Drogheda at a GA match the other week for a sports show, and they had a post for the Arc Cinema. The Arc Cinema do alcohol. So you can imagine if there's a Cork City fans going into next to Moana to Decky's prediction might be right after all.
I did say last week it wasn't my thing. It's now my thing, lads.
Copperberg was €6. But anyway,
do they sell alcohol in the one in Cork?
I don't know, but if they have it up in the one in Drogheda, surely there's some sort of a license floating around, or they're willing to get one anyway. Corky, when you got lovely hug off Corky.
I did. I got a great hug off Corky. I know who it is, you see. So it wasn't like I was hugging a randomer. But it was nice. It was nice and fluffy.
Was it well appreciated by everyone?
Well appreciated by everyone, and even people who didn't know who I was and when I was doing it. But sure, look, weren't the best moments ever for me. But yeah, I enjoyed the hug. It was nice and cuddly, and
right, from loves and cuddles to, I don't know what I'm going to say next, but the seats ruined inside in the shed. Decky, you put up the photo of this one on your X account, of course. Like, lads ruining their own ground. You hear of it and you see it in away grounds, you're kind of like, all right. Were you surprised by it?
I won't say I was surprised, Dan, to be honest. I think, and I just put out that tweet in frustration, and it looked to have gained a good bit of reach, and I was contacted by Cork BO as well, and they asked me a few questions about it too, and again, it just like absolutely shocking is the only word for it, really. Like, I know we all have our thoughts about the MFA and things like that and the ground, and things need to be fixed there and whatnot, but like, this hardly helps things, like, and hardly helps the club's relationship with the MFA, and it doesn't help the club at all, because the club will probably end up having to pay for this and replace the seats, and it's going to cost probably a couple of grand, and I just can't make sense of it, really. And I know everyone was excited when Keating scored and there was that surge forward as well and stuff, but like, look, maybe the club as well have to take a look at how we manage that section now operationally, and just on busy match nights, and see if there's
that looked
anything we can
more
do.
than a surge forward. That looked like lads kicking it on purpose.
Oh, the actual seats, you mean? Yeah. Look, I know some people are saying online that it was the surge forward that caused people to damage the seats, and you can see that some of them look like they've been bent forwards in that direction. But no, I think them seats were on their last legs, and it's a cause of like 2 or 3 people standing on the seats at the same time. That's the only thing I can say is the cause of it. And look, they're I think it's like mostly young fellas and girls that are excited to be at the game and whatever, and they're in the singing section and they're recording videos and they're jumping up and down and whatever, but like, they just don't belong in that section and they don't belong on the ground at all if that's what you're going to do. Like, there needs to be some better security processes put in place, maybe as well, that don't deter as well from like Commandos 84 and the great work they've been doing, in fairness, because the atmosphere at the Galway and Bohs games was fantastic, and fair play to them with the banners and the colour and everything. So,
they've upped their game completely this year, to be fair.
Definitely, yeah. And this is just, again, a distraction the club doesn't need, and it's just unfortunate.
What would you do? Like, presumably you've had some sort of experience with it before.
Yeah, like, I know there's CCTV in that section, so like, hopefully now the club can go back and look at it and just ban whoever was responsible, and like make them pay in whatever way we possibly can for the damages, and something has to be done with that section as well in general. Now we can kind of learn from this and say, look, only a certain amount should be left in, and do we need to put maybe stewards on the steps, making sure that it doesn't overfill in certain sections, and if people are found on seats, just drag them out, and you're in breach of stadium regulations. I think we just have to take a pretty harsh security stance on it, because it's just going to cost the club thousands in the long run, and then these will be the same people on social media then giving out that we don't have signings coming in the summer and whatever. Like, and in fairness, the club, we don't have an unlimited pot of money, like as some people think. The club is budgeted for, and there's numbers there that the club needs to hit, and this falls into the bracket again of like over excessive use of flares and stuff down the years that I've had to deal with as well, which could ruin your budget completely, like, especially from a cash flow perspective. So yeah, it's the club should just do everything in their power to try and stop it. CCTV, extra security, bans, work with the Gardaí as well, if they have strong enough evidence if needs, because it's that serious, to be honest.
Sorry, just looking at the TV. We have some player in Couto City in Olan. No, sorry.
Are you watching it on a Fire Stick, Dan?
No,
because I'm watching it live on Virgin Media, and I'm about a minute ahead of you.
Oh, Jesus. Well, that's mad. It must be just a delay with Dublin or something, I'd say. So I do have LOI TV, but the Fire Stick is on the TV.
Because you're in front of the mail.
I can't actually access the Virgin Media Player app now here from the USA, unfortunately, so I don't know.
But you should be able to get LOI TV from there.
I would not pay for LOI TV in a million years.
That's why you sell the fire sticks.
Oh, jeez. Thank God I'm not anywhere near that department, thank God. Jeez. No comment.
It's going to be an expensive week for the club as well, with fencing on, where the corner boys normally stand. Like, luckily no one was injured anyway, first and foremost, but like, that's going to be a few €1,000 well, Decky, do you reckon?
Yeah, like that's the incident where there was the surge when Keating scored. Then is it like? Yeah, that's going to need engineers to come in now and stuff like that. You know, all the bells and whistles involved with like health and safety, and everyone will need to be paid. And I'm sure the MFA will have a very difficult conversation with the club about the costs involved and things like that. So look,
that can't be the club's fault. Like, they were just celebrating and the fence went down. That can't, like, seats, yeah, broken seats, I get it. Flares, yes. The fence coming down can't be the club's fault. That's Munster Football Association, 100%. It's not fit for purpose.
Yeah, there was one stage when I saw someone like one leg over on the fence, sitting on the thing, like trying to grab Keating, whatever. Look, at the end of the day, like, it's the club's match night, and the club bring in the security teams and whatever, and you know, the ground does have, as Decky alluded to earlier, like, there is licensing requirements for the ground and things like that. And look, it's if something gets enough force, like, anything could fall down. It's just it's not built for that. Like, it's a League of Ireland ground at the end of the day. And that's not to say it should be built in any kind of a shoddy way, like, but like, people just need to understand here, like, that this is the League of Ireland, and like, these things cost money to repair and fix. It just, because I had to deal with it hands-on through fines and repair costs and things like that, it just drives me nuts. Like, so, yeah.
Wayne, what would you do? How would you sort out the problem in the shed?
I'm not a big fan of the iron fist, right? Well, on this occasion, I think it has to be zero tolerance. Absolutely, because this happened so many times, and that is an absolute disgrace. Doing their own stadium. What are they thinking? Like, what are you doing, lads? I'd be putting security, like, all in there. All or nothing. I'd throw them all in there, and anyone who steps out of place is gone. That's it, like. Because, yeah, I know you're turning at everyone with the same brush, but you have to get these people out. Breaking their own seats, like, come on.
It's going to ruin, it'll ruin the atmosphere from the ground.
It will, and I'd even go to say they should block it off for a game or two, because it's just not right. Whatever flares, whatever people messing, right? But physically damaging your own stadium, you shouldn't be in this. You shouldn't be supporting. You should be out of there, gone. So I'd be firmly of zero tolerance. Get these pricks out of there. If you can't self-police it, they shouldn't be there.
I know. Well, I guess if probably 20 years ago, you'd be thrown out the shed, like, as a group older that City has scored.
Get in! Nolan.
They go for
Nolan?
another shush celebration.
Nice one.
I haven't even seen the goal. I have to watch back the replay here. But 20 years ago, you could throw that out the shed. Like, you will not get away with it now.
My day, like, back in the early 90s, like, you said a bad word, you were dragged and you were turfed out. Like, you had to. There was a hierarchy, like, and it was mostly ran by the lads now who are in the Fockers, that kind of area, not them specifically, but that group. And I tell you, if you did something wrong, you're out, like, and there was no coming back. I know it's 20, 25 years ago. You can't do it now, but there has to be an element of cop the fuck on, lads. And I'd back 100%. Get all the stewards in there, and if you can't act like adults in there, get out. Simple as. It's our stadium. It's our ground. It's our club. Stop messing around.
Absolutely. Well, look, it's time for the Bohs review. Wayne will stick with you here because it was one of the best moments of your life. Like, there was just such a definite feeling that night.
A little bit of overreaction.
Well, I think the whole City fan base had a bit of an overreaction, but look, you need nights like that as well as a football fan. It's been so long since we've had like a special night in the Cross, and that felt like one. That felt like probably the start of something, and it didn't feel like, what was the last time we were in Premier 2023? If we got a poxy win here and there, like, this felt like the team were actually playing well and we're actually good, and we have Maguire and we have Keating there. Just what were your thoughts on the whole night?
When Keating, remember shot the effort Keating missed, it was a sitter. He was within the 6-yard box and he hammered it over the bar, and I could see him walking away. His shoulders were dropped, his head was dropped. The whole world was on his shoulders, and I was like, this is not good. Like, because I didn't think he played particularly well. But then he popped up with this, and next, I was on the edge of the seats, in section next to the exit, right? And usually there's a few people on the steps, and there wasn't many, and I thought there was 3 or 4 of them. Keating's goal went in, and I'd say 40 lads just ran down the steps. The whole place erupted. Everyone's hugging and jumping, and it was all just because it was Keating.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone just felt the love and the passion and the love for Keating, and what he's been through, and what, coming back to us. And it was one of my favourite moments ever. Top 5 moments for City ever, I would say.
That wouldn't happen. Yeah, that wouldn't happen if the fans didn't feel the same love that Keating gives back to them.
Everyone saw Keating. Everyone saw he was struggling, but no one was saying it. No one was kind of going, "Oh, this guy." Usually you would say, "Get out," But no, everyone was kind of hoping and praying, and he got the ball to win, cut in, and the whole place just went mad.
Mm-hmm.
It was mental, and it was one of my best times as a City fan, because it was just the pure passion, and everyone was just going mad, the stand was rocking, and you could see he was kissing the badge, and Clancy was running down, and Bang was running down in his tracksuit, the whole place, and the fucking gate collapsed. It was just mental, and it was one of my favourite moments supporting City. And the game itself was good. As Decky said, they had 21 shots, although only 4 of them were on target. A better team could have put them away, but then again, we should have been scored 4 or 5. Keating should have scored his goal. Maguire could have scored again. We could have had 4 or 5. It was a great game, and I tell you now, we will be getting 5,000 if we win tonight. There'll be 5,500, 6,000 at Sligo. And I know 25 quid a ticket. Do you know, when you're winning, no one cares.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just very jealous, very, very jealous that I wasn't there. Decky,
and one more thing as well. When Keating scored, right, he kind of went down on his knees and praised the sky. And there was a few moments of Keating kissing the badge where you want to take the phone out and just take a picture. But it was the one time I went, you know what, just enjoy this moment. And I'm glad I did. And I went home, and I was up to about 2 a.m. The adrenaline was bumping, I couldn't chill out. And I was just, I think I got 2 hours sleep that night. And it was just one of the best nights. It was class. More of that, please.
Decky, do you think there's been a bit of an overreaction from the fan base?
No, Dan, I said last week, I think this weekend could be the weekend that we actually, put our stamp on this season and let the other teams know that we're not going to be relegation fodder. And to be honest, I think our man of the match on Friday was, and this will sound a bit cringe, but I think it was Clancy, to be honest. I think the way we started off with the diamond formation in midfield, and then he quickly changed it up when he saw that we were being overrun a bit, and we leveled things afterwards with great header from Maguire, and I absolutely loved as well Maguire giving it the old shh to the Bohs fans as well. That was just, oh God. Again, Dan, like yourself, I wasn't there, unfortunately. I couldn't make it for family reasons. But the I would have loved to have been there to cross the see moments like that. And the 2 lads getting a goal each as well really kind of, put the stamp on that they're going to mean business this year. And I think Wayne covered everything there is to cover about Keating. What a man and what a legend, and fair play to him. And you have to give a mention again to Greg Bolger. He's starting again tonight, played 90 minutes again on Friday. The old master, now I'm going to call him for the rest of the season, because what a player. And I reckon as well that he was, pretty vocal to Clancy, as we've alluded to in the past, that he's potentially like Clancy's manager on the pitch, and saw that things weren't working and made sure that things were changed up as well. And he was just everywhere again on Friday night, and he's out again here now on Monday, 2 games in one weekend. And there was all these doubts about him and his age, and everyone thought that maybe he'd move into a more of a coaching role with the academy and the senior team, and that he'd be more of a back seat for 2025. But no, here he is now. He's our most important player, I think, and he's proven it time and time again. So again, I'm pretty sure we're managing his situation in training, because there's the minutes he's putting in the tank, to borrow a phrase from our social media team, the minutes he's putting in the tank, in fairness to him, and what a player again. And as I said, he's a Cork City legend already, and he's only just reinforcing that. But great win, great result, and the defence was pretty solid as well on Friday night. Especially after we made the changes in midfield. I know Bohs' goal, it was a lucky enough deflection as well. To be fair, Troost couldn't do anything about it. So unfortunate not to get the clean sheet. And two great goals then from our lads. And I know Talbot probably think he was.
We were lucky. I think there is a bit of an overreaction. I think we were lucky. Someone has to play the role of Decky, lads. All right, like what was the stat he gave you, Wayne? 21 shots that
they had 21 shots on target. They had 57% possession. 21 shots. Sorry, 21 shots in total, and they had 4 on target. 9 of them were blocked. There was a lot of hitting hopes. Let's just call a spade a spade. There was a lot of shots from everywhere, and players are blocking them, corners coming in, people shooting.
Truce made a great double save at one stage too, and but look, I watched them last week away to Derry, and I didn't think they were all that impressive. And look, they had a good couple of spells in the game on Friday night, which you would expect, like, because they would fancy themselves as a top team in the league, and look, we beat them 2-1. At the end of the day, win, get the ball into the box, score more goals than the other team. Football's a simple game.
That ball from Shipston was beautiful onto Maguire's head. It was just like 1994 again. Like, it was just beautiful.
Wayne, who was your man of the match?
I thought Shipston played very well until he came off. Now, I'm wondering, had he a knock because he's not playing tonight? Dykesdale, I thought, played fairly well too. They all played. No one was completely outstanding, but we all dug in. This is what's good. There's 11 players, unlike the Kravchuks of the world who are just pissing around in a pitch. They're all getting stuck in. Charlie Lyons is immense too. Like, what a player.
Anderson was class, to be fair.
He was.
I know he deflected.
Couto as well. Jesus, Couto's amazing. Like, he's if we can keep him, I'm telling you. And this is another question. Say we win tonight. Say we win on Friday, and say coming into June, July, we're third in the league. Does Usher and Cronin splash the cash? Do they go for it? Do they kind of go, "Oh, this is"?
You'd love to see it, but
we should. Like, this is your chance to kind of. Do you know, up the price to 30 quid next season? Do you know?
I could see, and this is where the advantage comes in, Wayne, because like under Forest, like we had to, like, I remember that year when we won the first division in 2022, like we had to like keep a side pot for the summer transfer window, and like we said, all right, this is now for we signed Lewis Britton that time, and probably got more out of it from a marketing perspective than anything on the pitch. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Nice fella, no, all the same. But like I think this is the time where the club can take a calculated risk and say, you know what, like if European qualification is within our reach and we're in a good position, the prize money you get from Europe and et cetera, they can potentially make a low risk investment in the summer, and if it pays off, it pays off, and that's where I think the advantage now of this ownership model comes in.
Absolutely. I suppose, and I guess when Bohs, when we went ahead, rather, I never got the sense that Bohs were gonna come back at us. No, they did have the shot, was it the double save, true set to make, or something, they hit the crossbar. So I can't even remember now, to be honest, at this stage. But I don't know, Wayne, did you get the sense that they were going to equalise? I certainly didn't anyway, which is something I would have had probably 2 years ago.
Bohs are shite. End of story. They're not a good team. When they scored, even their player was like, he put the arms up going, shrugging the shoulders. I can't believe it went in. They were never, I don't think they were ever threatening us. They were never going to go 2 up, or equalise. I thought we should have beaten them 3 or 4. They had more pressure. It's our style of play. We stuck back a bit more, and they played more shots, but they were popping shots from everywhere. We could go on a pitch and pop shots in the halfway line, like, Bohs, I think, will be in trouble this year. And we've a good, lucky few games now ahead. If we can take all the points, and tell you, the city will take over, and the city will back the club. The city is in Cork City itself, like, we'll back the club, and we just need to keep the momentum going.
Well, you can see that, like, the fans seem to have just such a huge buy-in even after one game.
I'm excited.
Look at the Keaton over, was it Tom Barry face swap, or whatever that was.
Was it a face swap? I didn't realise. Yeah, I agree with Wayne. I don't think Bohs were up to much, and like I think again back to Clancy. Like I think the game plan, even when it was 1-1, was excellent. Like we scored from a brilliant counter attack and move, Maguire to Keating, and then I know he had a bit of work to do after that, but we caught Bohs, and then again we caught them again nearly in injury time on the counter again, and Skeeters got fouled, and it was a Cornwall got the second yellow and got sent off. So like if anything, it was looking like we were pushing for a third, and we had the counter attack played down to a T, and we didn't have to deal with much after it went 2-1. So yeah, no, I think it was we closed it out well too. I think once we went ahead, there was always the worry there. I think that we might tire a bit and it'd be backs to the wall, but it wasn't for the last couple of minutes. And I think that's why Bohs fans were so pissed off after the game as well. Like, they see us as newly promoted Cork City, and they should be coming down here and beating us after they beat Rovers in the greatest League of Ireland game of all time up in the Aviva. Like, but yeah, it wasn't to be anyway. So yeah, I suppose they can go back to Dublin and admire their jerseys and, you know, see how they get on for the next couple of weeks.
I think Maguire is injured, is he?
He's down anyway. Oh,
Is that Skeeter's coming on?
Yeah. Okay.
Hang on. He's coming off right.
He doesn't look too bad though, just from what I can see. But that's going off vibes alone. Well, look, we'll hear what the TOTAPers had to say about the game. We said, give us an Arc Cinema movie title to describe that one. Richie says Bohemian Crapsody. Jared Tuhig says Tale as Old as Teen. Time. Duncan Noonan says Empire Strikes Back. Billy Dorney says Cream always rises to the top. Kyle Williams says Cork on Fire. Bohemian Dreams Shattered. Colm Nolan says A Tale of Two Cities. Ian Ryan says no Bohemian Rhapsody on the Banks. Billy Dorney says The Phoenix Rises. Tales from the East End, the Shamrock Pod says False Hope. James Greenham says Dublin has fallen. Ian Crowley says Save the Last Dance. The Donny Ford Ultra Mega Sergeant Platoon says Unbreakable, Snatch, True Grit. And for Bohs, The Departed. Philly Crowley says 27 Dresses. Roy O'Sullivan says The Beautiful Game. Jack Kelleher says Justice Served. Thomas says The Usual Suspects. Manor Train Station Employee of the Month says The Wind That Shakes the Bosley. Mark says Give Me Your Tears, Gypsy, the Borat reference. Philly Crowley, Man on Fire. Connor, Shawnee of the Dead, Ian Draper, the boys. Look, there's so many lads. It's going on and on. Anthony Falvey's The Back to the Future one had to win though, with the face swap of Keats and Shawnee as Doc and Marty. That has to be. Bohemian Rhapsody, also a very good shout. Instead of doing our TOTAP MVP this year again, we did a player rating. If I can bring them up here, I threw them into Chat GPT. Marcus Demetrius, help me out. So here are your average ratings. Oh, we are nearly in for a second. Troost got a 7.2. Kuto with also 7.2. Crowley with 5.98. Anderson with a 7.37. Lyons with a 6.99. Bulger with a 6.78. Murray with a 6.59. Shipston with a 6.6. Dyke Steele with a 6.37. Maguire with an 8.56. I thought he was man of the match for me anyway. Keating with 7.76. Nolan 7.17. Nelson basically a 6. Cedars again basically a 6. Tim Clancy with an 8.03. Atmosphere with an 8.04. And the referee with a 4.21. I thought the referee was alright enough though, lads, was he?
He was horrendous, Dan. He was pulling everything up. Every foul, every kick. Come on. It was like, it wasn't even football. It was like, no, he was, I know he was terrible. He didn't get many wrong decisions. He just pulled up everything, and it just kills the game.
All right, well, that is it for Bohs. Are you happy enough? Are we finished with the Bohs? It is time for halftime. Come back to us in part 2, TOTAPer, where you're going to have the mailbag. Sligo preview. We're going to check in on our friends down in Cove, Queenstown.
Hey, toe tapper. As you know, everything is increasing in price. Extra small clothes, anger management classes, raw liver is the same price as gold. And kids' sweets used to have 20 per pack and now only have 5 in each one. And Jack Doherty is on course to score 100 goals. And he's going to bleed us dry. We need you to help the gang by joining our Patreon for exclusive pods, news and much more. For a $5 a month, you can ensure that Wayne doesn't smash up his laptop, that Dan has really small clothes, Eileen is satisfied, and Declan gets lots and lots of jellies. Head to patreon.com/TOTAP to support the cause.
Welcome back to part 2, TOTAPer. It is time to go to the mailbag.
Postman Patta, Postman Patta, Postman Patta in black and white cat.
The cat makes race.
Early in the morning, a one bag of man is yawning. Him pick up all of the post bag in a him hand. A real bad man. Postman pat, postman pat, postman pat, and he mix up cat. Him team light skin. All of the bird them singing, but partner fool him a roll with the big pin. Just in case them try to rob him.
That one's getting a bit old, is it?
That's good, still good.
Billy Dorney, well, he doesn't really ask, he just says, but look, hopefully start of a beautiful relationship between City and PUC, referring to the future big match day events. The Liam Miller testimonial proved it can work. After all, we're a hurling city that loves our local soccer. Yes, Decky, soccer, not football, incoming. City till I die, Rebels a boo. Connor K says, our own clothing, which is decent quality and cheaper. A good squad that's getting results. Rebel Army events that seems to be making money. A Celtic match in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Immediate return to the Prem. Is Dermot looking like the right man to bring City back to our best? Wayne Mullins.
How about Tim Clancy here? Like, he's the one with the budget and getting all the players in. What was the question?
Is Dermot looking like the right man to bring City back to our best?
After 4 weeks, yes, it's, the money's there. It's getting spent. We've got, 7 points out of 9 thus far, if we're still winning. So I'd say yes. I always said it was yes. I don't like some of the way things are done, but is he the right man? Absolutely.
Declan Carey?
Yeah, geez, Dan, I spent so much time building up to that election to vote him in, saying how great he would be for the club and everything else. Like, so, look, again, hate to say I told you so, lads.
So did the bad.
Why is your voice getting really high?
I don't know, maybe something to do with my microphone. But no, look, at the end of the day, look, results on the pitch like really change everyone's outlook on everything, like, don't they? All of a sudden now these little things that bother everyone don't seem to be a problem. So at the end of the day, like, it all comes down to results on the pitch and a good night in Turner's Cross, and that can change a lot of people's outlooks on how the club has been run and all that. And look, I know as Rebel Army events there is making money. I don't know if that's necessarily true, like, or what the ins and outs of it are. I know some of those, the most recent comedy night was pretty poorly attended, and it remains to be seen. It doesn't look like Rebel Army events is involved at all in this upcoming Celtic friendly. So, like, look, but again, as I said, and Wayne, I think you agree with me on this one, like, it's great to see these events being run and try new things. Yes. We should just learn from them, obviously, as each one that we try and pull off, and again, make them attractive for the Cork public and the City fan base to support them, rather than just like set an expectation that people should waltz up and buy tickets for these things when maybe they don't have as much interest in comedy or golf outings and things like that. But anyway,
I think we're learning a lot, but not quick enough. I give it a B-.
I'd agree with you there. Yeah, I'd agree with you.
Did you feel like at the Bohs game you got a lot more bang for your buck in terms of the match day experience, or is that just simply down to the fact we won?
It's down to the fact we won.
Yeah,
toilets were still. I went for a piss in toilet. The walls are clean. The jacks, the bowl, the urinal, whatever it's called, is just absolute disgrace. The food, didn't try it, wouldn't try it. I'm not going for the luxuriness and going to watch a game of football. Like 20 minutes in, I was standing there going, could have watched this at home, really. I was thinking it, but then it started getting a little bit romantic with Cork City. The little stories were happening on the pitch, and it was kind of growing. And by half time, you're like, "Geez, I'm glad I came here."
You got to read about the local hero Pat Fenlon in the program.
What was that about? Yeah, thanks for like. I open up the program and I see local hero and Pat Fenlon, and I'm going, "This is a joke." Now, obviously, it was in the Bohs section, but Pat Fenlon and local hero should never be anywhere associated with a Cork City matchday program. And whoever put that in needs to have a long and hard look at themselves. Because I don't care if Bohs wrote it, change it. You write, like journalists write for the Echo, they don't write the headlines. So I put this firmly in default of whoever's doing the program. Great program, I get it every week for the little fella. Great articles, fantastic. That one line was an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, but it's a sign of the times. We're too nice. We're too nice. We want to be friends with everyone.
I'm putting it down as an oversight, right? That copy and paste. Put it down. Learn from it. All right, don't do it again. But again, fantastic program. It's well worth the €5. It really is. Some great articles in it, and just that was. You need to apologize for that, whoever wrote it.
Yeah, I think when they probably meant it as I think they probably meant it as like their local hero, like
doesn't matter.
The opposition. I agree with you. Like it looks terrible, especially then Pat Fenton knowing the strong affection apparently we have for him as a club as well. Like apparently, allegedly, or whatever. Look,
a joke about the apologisation part. That was a joke, all right? It wasn't being serious. Because someone's going to take it up as being serious, like the little pricks that called him last year. They took that seriously too. Anyway, let's move on before I got getting annoyed. I'm in good form tonight.
No, the lads that look after the programme, I know I worked a good bit with them over the last few years as well. They do Trojan effort for nothing other than the love of the club. And, I won't name them now on the podcast because they'll be embarrassed, but their names are on the second page of the programme. They deserve all our respect because they put together that publication under tight deadlines and everything like that. And
it's fantastic, it really is. It's a great read.
Fair play to them. Yeah, hopefully
except for that line. Seriously, I'm not joking. Don't do it again, please.
He is not a legend in Cork City in any sense of the word, ever.
Thanks, Dan.
Joe, I forgot to do that in Commie Watch, and I was like, I'm so glad I thought of it.
You've got me out twice in the last 10 minutes. Cheers for that.
Joe Langford says, barring injuries, how many games do we expect Greg Bolger and Sean Murray to play this season? Need at least one of these to be on the pitch at all times to direct affairs, but also to be winding up refs and opposition. Decky, I'll go to you here first on this one. How many? Yeah, well, I suppose Greg is probably the main one there. Let's face it. How many games do you hope to get out of Greg?
Look, I think if we can manage it correctly, I think we can get at least like 30 out of 36 games. I think some of the backlog in fixtures now might catch up with him, like when this Shamrock Rovers game is rearranged and things like that. But it does look like Clancy is managing the situation well, and Greg is obviously looking after himself as he always did. He's the utmost professional when it comes to like off the pitch managing his own fitness, and I imagine he had looked after himself in the off season as well. He knows that he doesn't have many years ahead of him on the pitch on a full time basis. But I think we can get him for 30 out of 36 games. All going well, obviously. Look, it's looking like, unfortunately, from text I'm getting through here, that Johnny Maguire's gone down with injury and gone off, and his hamstring was taped up before the game, and it looks like now he's gone off. Hopefully that's nothing too serious at all. Hopefully it's just precautionary. But yeah, thankfully Greg doesn't look to have any kind of recurring injury that we need to look after or mind from that respect too. So I think we can get a lot of the season out of him.
Ryan Healy asks, with Howie Instagram story of Ida and Cahill, how strong do you think Celtic will go? You'd presume all the Irish lads. I don't think they'll go strong at all. Ida will get a few minutes.
You get Ida starts, and you get Scales will start, and you get the players like what's the guy's name? The Honduran fella, the winger. Can't think of his name. And Yang, you get all the kind of secondary players who are on the bench and stuff like that, and they'll be on. You won't get Schmeichel and stuff, I'd imagine. It's too early in pre-season.
Yeah, you'd imagine not. But like, what team are we going to put out? I mean, we're going to be putting out a second string team as well.
I don't think so. I think we have to take it seriously, or I won't be invited back. I think this is a tester for them, because if they can get the money for this, they know they can invite United or City or someone, Juventus or something, over them next time.
Mm-hmm.
We might just be a one-trick pony here when we're winning once, see how it goes. If it sells out, they know they can do it, and they'll get a bigger club in.
I suppose
we're scheduled to be away to Shells on Friday, July 4th, and then the following Friday we're away to Waterford, so like 2 away games, and then we've got this match sandwiched in between. I reckon Clancy treats this as like a training session for some of our starters, and they might get max 45 minutes just to save face. And then we see the bench emptied, a mix to start off with, I would say, anyway, and then the bench emptied, and it's majority of fellas.
It's a tough one, because we do need our starting team out there so you don't get embarrassed. But
we're playing
in for the league.
We're playing the potential league leaders like the Friday before, and then we're playing a
big rival.
Yeah, big rival, Munster Derby away to Waterford again. I don't think Clancy will risk it. No, he's too smart.
He might trial a few players too. What date is it? 8th of July, is it?
Yeah.
So the window opens. The window will be open. I want to trial a few players.
He could. Yeah, that's another option.
All right. Philly Crowley says English and Australian Rugby League in Vegas and NFL in Croke Park. Where would you take a City match internationally? Well, Decky, you're our man. You're international man of mystery at the moment, anyway.
Yeah.
Where would you take us?
I went to WrestleMania 39 in SoFi Stadium, and that was probably the most impressive stadium I've ever seen. Fully domed in, roof, top class facilities. SoFi Stadium, and you have to drive as well from downtown LA through Compton to get there. So I'm sure some of our fans would enjoy that experience as well. They might fancy their chances. So that'd be good crack. SoFi Stadium for me.
Maracana has to be the Holy Grail, really, isn't it?
It will be class. We're thinking.
Do you know what I do actually know? I'd go on to Copacabana Beach, right? I'd build some temporary stands in the Copacabana Beach and have a game there. And that's how I'd sell it. Beach football.
That'd be pretty good. Take the boys out to the favelas then for no five-a-side.
Yeah.
I think I'd go, the new camp would be class. San Siro. You'd be dreaming now. AT&T Stadium, the Dallas Cowboys one looks class as well. But anyway, you're only dreaming anyway.
Monetary-wise, you'd have to bring them to Boston, I'd imagine, or New York. Maybe Australia. Might make a bit of cash.
Speaking of Boston, lads, and WrestleMania, what about John Cena there at the weekend? Shocking stuff, isn't it?
We get we get ribbed for the J stuff. Don't mind talking about WWE now. We'll be
come on, no, don't pretend you didn't see this on your social media
I've seen it. I know. I've seen it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But like the TOTAP was going to go absolutely apeshit.
It was one of the biggest sporting moments of the weekend. Like Jesus, you didn't see this.
Wrestling's not a sport. Like, come on, it's like golf and darts. No, they're not sports. Like, especially that darts malarkey. I don't know what's going on there. Like, anyway, I get annoyed. People annoy me now over it.
Aid Long says, is Benny Couto the signing of the early season? Oh, you'd have to say so.
Yes.
Shipson might not be far behind, I'd say, when all's said and done. But, Decky, what do you think?
I think
absolutely.
Couto and Shipston, I'd say those two. I think Shipston's going to be fantastic. I think he will be.
Yeah, I think Couto is just naturally more... I think Couto is naturally just more involved in the game. Like he wants to get on the ball more, and he seems to have it all. Bit of pace, good control, good touch, good delivery. I think Couto probably more from a fan's perspective. Like we see more of him on the ball and doing the kind of flashier stuff. But I think Shipson's will be good as well.
It also helps having an exotic name. If he was John O'Reilly now, nobody would be looking at him twice. Like they'd be like, "Oh, he's having a good start." Whereas it's Benito Couto, like he's Fernando's son, like he's
class name, yeah.
Who
was the Italian guy there from 2017, man? What was his name?
Nanetti.
Christian Nanetti, yeah. He had to be good, like, didn't he? He just had to be.
Like, even Aki Campion, like, we had someone similar. Remember Damien O'Connell, and there was Noel Hartigan, like, I'm sure Aki Campion's a cult hero, like.
Well, he got the equaliser in the cup final in extra time, like, so, he'll always be a cult hero for the right reasons.
Anderson will be a player first yet as well. I don't think we should be writing him off, or not you're writing him off, but forgetting about him.
I think we could keep him because he's so young. I think they might say, look, hold on to him for another 6 months. Why move him on? If we're doing well, they might keep him here because, he's only 18, like.
Mm-hmm. Ian Crowley, this one's directly for you, Kerman. Declan Carey raised a point over the weekend regarding the abuse of seating in the shed. What is your individual take on alternatives to fully seated?
Like I think Dan, my thoughts on it really are like safe standing is the way to go in whatever the nominated singing area is in the ground or atmosphere section or whatever you want to call it. Like, but it needs to be thought through in a strategic way in partnership with the MFA and the league and ourselves and plan it out properly. It shouldn't just be a solution for or just lads dancing on chairs. Like let's take out the seats. This needs to be put through and funded properly and thought through properly.
The costs on it is there a huge cost involved to it? Like you think just taking out a few seats, and also if we were to do it, would there be the possibility of what's the ones they have in Germany? You can put the seats into it for, say, a European game.
Yeah, That is very costly. I can't recall no figures, and I'm not just saying that because, look, I don't really care anymore. I'll tell you anything and everything that went on the last 5 or 6 years. But yeah, I can't.
Well, Declan,
that was
a few questions here.
I'll answer them all off the air. No, but that's astronomical cost, and slotting the seats in and out when you need them for European games and stuff like that. And I'm not sure as well if the Curr Road stand is built for that. Like those posts that need to go down for the railings, like, I think this, dare I say, like, should have been thought through when that stand was being built. But again, did any of us imagine that this would happen like within 13, 14 years, is it, of it being up and running?
The thing is, right, it's not going to stop the seats breaking because the seats are still there. They're still going to stand and break them.
But that's a European fixture. But it's,
No, but the seats are still there. They're just folded up. And they can stand on a terracing. Do you know what I mean? The seats. So if they want to break them, they're going to break them anyway. So this safe standing malarkey, what people are asking is terracing, which isn't allowed. So imagine spending 90 grand on that, 100 grand, and then they're still breaking the seats. The problem is the people, not the stands. Turner's Cross Shed End is perfectly fine to stand if you behave yourself. And there has to be, I'm always against the whole, as I said, iron fist mentality of Cork City, but they have to come down hard on these guys. They have to.
The corner bag says football is a game of moments, performing in the big moments. That's what Keating embodies. His general play is below par most weeks, but when it's time to stand up and perform in big moments and score, he never lets us down. To be fair, he did have a poor game, Decky. And then he popped up.
I have this debate with my buddies as well about number 9s. Like, fantastic music here to be playing in this. Because at the end of the day, like, you saw what it meant to him to score that goal, and it's hard to get a player like that. And I'm not going to nitpick about his general build-up play as long as he's scoring goals for the club. And he's always done that since he arrived. And he's a number 9. His job is to score goals, the same way as defenders and goalkeepers' jobs is to keep clean sheets and things like that. So, like, it might not be fancy, but as long as he puts the ball in the back of the net and continues to do it for the club, everyone will love him. And if he does it with the emotion that he clearly puts into it, sometimes I think he might put himself under too much pressure for, a variety of reasons. And look, fair play to him for dealing with everything he has to deal with. And, he scored a goal the other night. So, yeah, great performance from Keating. Whether when he had his back to goal, he didn't take the right touch and didn't lay it off to Dykesdale at the right moment or whatever, or a play broke down or he didn't win a header. I don't care. He scored. End of the day, that's his job. He's number 9. Score goals. Thanks, Rory. Top man.
Roy Keane, that's his job. We're going to go to some of the ones on Instagram. Ben Davis. Well, this one has to go to you, Decky, since I imagine it was meant for the other Decky, but how raw was Decky's knob on Friday?
Move on.
But the other Decky's knob actually wasn't that raw, because he was like, all right, lads.
No, it was more mine, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was definitely.
Well, lads, I don't know, do you realize how happy and the adrenaline on Friday night was just, it was amazing. Like, I'm sure I even told you it was better on my wedding day and my kid's birth. I'm sure I said that at one stage.
You did.
I take that back.
Yeah. Jim White asks, question for Declan. If Prime Al Gore ran in the US election against Trump, would he have won?
No. I don't think so. I've actually been to I was in Nashville recently, and it's a strong Republican area, and oh my God, the amount of Trump support there, and I can only imagine what some of the other states are like. Yeah. So anyway, no, I don't think so. I think he was destined to win. Anyway, I don't know what that question has to do with anything, but.
Mandy asks, do we have a serious issue at right back? When?
We do. Not a serious issue. We could have a serious issue. So we all brought it up. There's no point in going over old ground and kind of, coming down hard on, like, Dara is a striker who turned into a winger, who turned into a fullback. No fault of his own. He's doing above and beyond his capabilities, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'd always have him around because he's a great utility player to have. He can go midfield, he can go winger and go up front. It's okay. I'm I do worry.
Do you think as the season goes on, we might see him on the bench a bit more and maybe getting some of the other guys?
No, sure, there's no one there to go, really. There's no one to go in place of him. So it's his until he loses it. He's done nothing wrong so far. But I just think we could be stronger there.
Mm-hmm. Decky, what do you think?
Yeah, and to be fair to Dara, he's a stalwart at the club now at this stage. He's been, God, how long has he been around at the club? 10 years, including his academy years, maybe close enough to that. Like, I think, I think he's a good player to have in the squad, but maybe there's something we need to look at, whether it's formation wise to maybe protect him a little more, or maybe I change things up a little bit. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think it's it's a good conversation to be having if we're like identifying these areas now in the team, but we're getting positive results. And as you said earlier, when like it looks like we're getting 7 out of 9. So this is just what it's all about. Now we're going to try and look at how we can improve.
It's not even half time yet, but look,
that Kudo is unbelievable, isn't he? That Kudo is amazing.
He's some player. All right, what's the last one here? Why are the club handing over €10 precision footballs to match ball sponsors? This did come with a photo, and to be fair, it did look.
They're cheaper.
Yeah,
that's the answer. They're cheaper.
Has it always been done that way?
I don't think so. Like I think, at least from my memory, you'd either get one of the Umbro match balls that you used to get there. They cost nearly £100 each, or a branded Cork City FC ball. Always looks better than like some cheap €10 precision thing. But yeah,
are they mandatory to play in the league? You have to have your own branded balls, do you?
The league supplied
the match
ball.
Day, the match day,
yeah, they're mandatory. Yeah.
Okay.
They're pricey enough. Yeah, I think retail commercial value, like if you just walk into a sports supply store, they're close to 100. But I think we do get them for cheaper than that. I think it's maybe 60 to 70 quid per ball, which is why you see McRing walking along the Derry Nan stand there every now and again. He saves the club a couple of £100, which he's very, very proud of. He reminds everyone at any possible opportunity. So yeah.
All right, Sligo Rovers preview, lads. It's time to move on. They're currently 1-0 up against Shamrock at the moment. I guess being the real Rovers, that's naturally going to be the case. Hutchinson with the goal there. What are we expecting from this Sligo side, Wayne?
I didn't know they were 1 up. We really missed a job on them last week, didn't we? Shamrock. I was very confident because they've conceded 10 goals, but they have scored 6 now. If we've any hope of staying up, do you hear me? Of clearing the relegation area, we have to beat teams at this. I still think we can try get 5th or 6th. We should be getting 5th or 6th, but we have to. If we win tonight, we have to beat them Friday. Simple as. I don't think Greg can play another 90 minutes, surely. I hope he will come off after 60 minutes tonight. But Maguire could be out, and then do you play Keating up front, or do you go 4-3-3? I don't know. It's hard to preview a game when there's one going on at the minute.
Yeah, but I wonder, we don't know. Shawnee.
Say Maguire's out, I'd stick Murray in for... I'd put Shipston in for Bolger, and I'd probably go with a 3-man midfield and put Murray in there. So Murray, Shipston, and you're stuck there, aren't you? Yeah, he's got to go 4-4-2. I wouldn't play Bolger again. I couldn't. Maybe bring him on in the last 30 minutes.
I think you are, to be honest.
I think he is,
Decky, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he plays Bolger. I think it's looking like Maguire won't make it now, and I don't know if Cahill will be back as well. I think there was talk from that press conference today that he'd be missing for another 2 or 3 weeks at least. So, yeah.
I heard today it was his meniscus. Is that the word? Meniscus? Meniscus, that's the word. Meniscus. That's what I heard today anyway. On the grapevine.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully he's back soon. Look, I think it'll be... I think he'll go 4-5-1, to be honest. Keating up top, and yeah, I think Bolger will play. But look, yeah, I agree with you as well. When it's unfortunate that we missed the chance to stuff Shamrock last week. I think, as Decky said, I think now it reminds me of like what happened to them after they had their last kind of Europa League qualification in the middle of the last decade. They kind of looked like they were going to push on and dominate Irish football now for the next couple of years, but it just looks like they've lost interest in the League of Ireland games now. The European nights are just too glamorous from them now, and they're not interested in the cold Monday night away to Sligo. Like, they're 1-0 down now, and they lost their first game as well to Bohs. Now, that was in the Aviva, so they should have been up for that. But even still, like, two bad results to start off their campaign, and like, yeah, it's a shame. Now we missed out on them. I think we could have had them that Monday, because they had no interest in playing that game against us. So look, that's the shame there. But look, as I said, Sligo looks like they've been a bit of a mixed bag. But they've one win, possibly two wins now. Or they've no wins today. Tonight will be their first win.
If results stay the same, right? Shamrock are bottom of the table.
Yeah, and yeah, look, it's and you won't think Drogheda will stay up there. So look, I think after the first series of games plays out, when you'll have a nicer picture of how things are looking.
All right,
here's Brian Fantana for the halftime report.
Here's
the Brian Fantana jingle. Come on.
I'd say that's long gone. I'd say that's long gone. Go on, Decky. What are you thinking so far?
I've been jacking off, beating my meat. You left me and I'm in heat. What else can I do?
What else can I do?
'Cause my wet dreams are
Brian
just getting
Fantana
chilled.
is all over you.
Do you want a halftime report? There's about 12 in queue for the Port to lose, and they have no idea what they're going to face when they get in there. Outside of that, I think we were quite good. I thought we were very good for long periods of that half. I just hope we're not going to regret not getting a second when we were so dominant there, especially the first half an hour. That first half, last 15 minutes, they came back into it a little bit without ever creating anything. Yeah, I think if we get a second, I don't think they have 2 goals in them, to be honest with you. So, question is, will we get that second or not? I think there's lots of room behind them to run into. Alex Nolan's done it a couple of times. Final ball from us has been poor on a few occasions when there was opportunities to put Skeeters in behind, Dykesteal in behind, Alex Nolan another time in behind. So hopefully we'll get one of those right and it'll be finished, and we'll go 2 up, and I think that'll be enough. Then I think that'll be it.
Yeah, I just saw the clip of Nolan's goal there. Looked class, like beat a couple of players and drilled it into the roof of the net.
It's on the other side of the pitch, so it's very hard to see from the new stand here. But I mean, it was one of those when it hits the net, you're just kind of going, Jesus Christ, how did that go in? So I look forward to seeing it.
What's the story with Shawnee, Dick?
Looks like his hamstring. The way they were working on him. Obviously, everybody's biggest fear, TOTAP's biggest fear before the season started. Looks like it might be about to happen, unfortunately. But look, we'll see. They were definitely working on his hamstring was actually bandaged pre-game. He came out with a wrapping on his hamstring. So, look, I'm sure somebody somewhere, not us, will ask questions as if to say, why was he risked if he had a potential hamstring and it was wrapped already. But look, yeah, it's one of those things. We'll have to see what happens during the week. You'll probably have a guess and say we won't see him against Sligo, and we'll see what happens after that then,
Decky, what do you think about Sligo? What formation do you have probably without Sean, and who's playing?
Like, we're light up there, Skeeters is on. No, Skeeters came on for Shawnee. The problem then becomes if something happens Skeeters or Keaton in the next hour, or in the next few days, there's actually kind of nobody else. I think, what will he do? I presumed Greg was playing tonight, and Greg is the one doing all the legwork in midfield. It's interesting that Kit Nelson is the one sitting, and Greg is the one doing the pressing and doing all the running around. We kind of presumed Greg wouldn't play tonight. Looking at his work rate tonight, you have to kind of presume that he already knows he's not going to start against Sligo. And therefore it's kind of, give it all tonight and have next Friday night off. But can you do that now if Shawnee's not in the pitch and you need to put an extra body in the centre of the park? Or, I think Sligo are 1 up at home to Shamrock Rovers at half time as well. No, that's no mean feat, because as I said, Rovers are shit, or Shams are shit, Rovers are our head. So look, we'll have to wait and see what happens there as well. But they're going to come down with a bit of confidence. They scored 3 times away at St. Pat's on Friday night, so they have goals in them. So we'll have to be careful. Definitely have to be careful. But obviously we're a better side than them, better squad than them, and it's just unfortunate that already this early in the season it looks like a couple of things are starting to go against us, and the depth of that squad might be tested early in the season now, you know.
Has Alex Nolan impressed you besides getting that goal?
Yeah. No, the only thing is he was in with another great chance and he slipped it wide of the post, and it's one of those that it's very hard to be harsh on him because of the goal he scored. But it's one of those that you kind of feel like he probably has an option of squaring it. And when you choose not to square it, you have to score then, you know. That would have put us 2 up. And as I said, I think that would have been the game even at that stage, because Waterford just don't seem to have much about them. Makes you wonder, they won in Derry on Friday night. All of a sudden you're going, how shit are Derry? Like, you know, if this crowd went up there and won up there, like, so all of a sudden
they've had 10 shots on target already, Waterford.
They've had 10 shots on target.
No, not on target, 10 shots, sorry. 10
shots at goal. Yeah, like we do a lot of fuffing around at the back, and Team Truce has given it away a couple of times from kickouts. Now those shots, I'd say if you looked at them, Scott, there's 7 or 8 of them blocked, I'd say. They hit the crossbar once, all right. That was about their only real opportunity, and even that was just a half chance. So they've had attempts at goal, but nothing clear cut. You know, a lot of them have been blocked. Anderson's a fine player, lads. He really is a fine player. He's been very, very good again tonight. Charlie Lyons alongside him as well, you know. So, yeah, lots to be positive about.
All right, give us, well, it's going to go to date by the time this pod is out anyway. Like, we'll give us a quick prediction for the second half. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite you in the ass.
Everybody's listening then on Wednesday going, Jesus, he's some asshole. He got that completely wrong, like, you know. I'm going to say we win 2-1. I think they might get a late goal, but hopefully we'll go 2 up and they pull one back. Nervy last 5 minutes. Or in an ideal world, they go 1-1 and Keating gets a 94th minute penalty like happened here the last time, and the club can put out a proper Premier Division big game on social media and talk about that instead of putting out ones from 3 years ago, you know.
Lastly, and one of the TOTAPers wants to know, how raw was your knob on Friday night?
How long was what?
How raw was your knob? They didn't ask how long it was.
It?
Yeah.
For God's sake, like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, my wife was sick, and so it was.
Jeez. Move on was the answer, Deck. Okay,
move on, Ryan, okay.
Move on, right. For God's sake. Come on, no, that childish stuff.
You might be visiting the Portaloos for other reasons than taking the shit after the game if we win here.
There's still about 15 in the queue there now, as they said, God love them, they have no idea what they're going to face when they go in there.
All right, we'll move this along. All we have to do is check in on our friends of Queenstown, and now we're off. So enjoy second half.
Will do. Nice to chat to you, lads. I thought you'd be finished on go. I thought you were going watching the match.
We're having great fun. This is the most positive hour and a half of your life.
Did the special guest not show up?
He did for 30 seconds.
Unfortunately, yeah.
All right, okay. Worse again. Probably better if he didn't. Right, I'm out of here. Back to my standing spot. All right, boys. Enjoy yourselves. I'll talk to you.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Did you see what one of our TOTAP members put in the chat there? Cork City Celtic clash could be worth 200k to Cork GA. So we must 200k.
Are they they're going to make way more than 200k. Come on, let's be serious here. Like 65 quid a ticket.
Yeah. Well, how many will they set?
You know. Anyway, let's move on before we get sued.
All right. Because all I have to do was check in on the B team.
Oh, we do.
That's it.
I don't have that, do I? Hang on, what's it called? No, we'll just do this. I've no idea.
Words are very unnecessary. They can only do harm.
Jesus Christ. I just saw. Anyway, Bohs are 1-0 out to draw, are they?
They could go down, like, that'd be fantastic.
Oh, be careful, lads. They'll be extra sensitive on Twitter now tonight, so it would be awful if they lose and anyone winds them up. Oh, dear. And I'm 8 hours behind as well, so I can be up all night Irish time winding them up.
We do shifts, we.
Yeah.
Even the Shamrock fans weren't as old up as the Bohs fans this week, to be fair to them. Which I'm a Shamrock fan, remember, so...
Jeez,
I know.
The Bohs
And
fans will be up all night tonight. The dole queues will be quiet in the morning.
The care man is turning heel.
I turned heel a long time ago.
Anyway, UCD won, Ramblers won. The state of the pitch up there in Belfield, though. I mean, Jesus Christ. Keane Murphy, again, pops up, proving the Deckmeister wrong once more when.
Didn't I say we should have kept him this season? Didn't I say that last season? I was laughed at. Do you know?
Proving the doubters wrong, proving the haters wrong. Yeah, that's all we have time for here, I'd say, lads. Anything else to say? Words of wisdom you want to pass on to the TOTAPers for the week ahead?
Are we going to predict the results?
Oh, sorry, did I not do that? Okay.
No.
I'm going to say 2-0 against Rovers.
I'm going 3-2 against Rovers.
3-2.
I'm going to go with 2-1 in favour of Cork City over Rovers.
There we have it.
Good
That's
work,
all
lads.
we have. Some thrilling pod. We started well. It's coming down. It's crashing. We're crashing.
We have great time for Rovers, don't we, on this pod? They're a great bunch of lads, aren't they?
Yeah. Nice town too, Sligo, to be fair.
Home of the Rovers.
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw will be interesting tonight, lads. What will John Cena have to say about his heel turn?
That'll just be Decky after we get the win against Watford Monday Night Raw.
Anyway, adios.
Adios,
amigos. Oh, hang on, we got to finish it with this. A very important song.
Is this so they can't join the rappers? All right, let's X out now.
Adios. What a man. What a legend. What a hero. What a player. What a person.
R9.
Love him.
It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart. Without saying a word, you can light up the dark.
Actually, has anyone seen the Bohs own documentary?
I seen the first episode. I haven't got to the second one yet. Actually, it was very good though.
Poor Mikey Graham, you'd feel bad for him. Christ.
Feel bad for all of them.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, but I presume my wife will make me at some stage. Anyway, here comes the chorus.
Smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand says you'll catch me wherever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all.
The next episode will be available very soon.